What are some of your favorite comic book story arcs? Now, we're going to stick to more like the American style, like we're talking Marvel, DC, and some of their like offshoots.
Terrible
I'm not
movie.
saying like just those. They can be some of these offshoot ones like Dark Horse Comics, etc. I'm fine with those, but we're not doing like manga like we mentioned earlier or anything like that. So, like for starters, one of my favorites is actually the Nightfall series for Batman. Have you ever read them?
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
I actually really love those. And exactly. For those who aren't aware, that's the one where Bane breaks Batman's back over his knee.
I saw that in a
And-
movie.
Yeah, that's actually what it's based on.
It's
It was that
from
good
the
of a-
comic, man.
Yeah.
In Rises.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I saw that in a movie one time. It was really good.
So, and in that one, then Azrael
People
takes
get
over
hurt.
the mantle of Batman while Batman is recuperating, etc.
That doesn't happen in the movie.
Yeah, that does not happen in the movie, but there's just so much going on with that. So that's one of my favorites, and I could go into others, but I just feel that's the one that's going to be most unique to me.
Sure.
So I want to get some of your favorites because I, for one, want more inspiration on what comics to read next. So, and I have others I could go into, like I said.
So, Jordan, what do you think?
There's actually a Skillet comic book which I have that is fairly good.
That's interesting.
This is actually good. I do like that.
Yeah.
Eden Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I believe I have both of
Is
them.
it like fantasy or is it about the band?
It's fantasy.
That's cool. I like that.
With the band being the characters
Yeah.
Sure.
in the
Yeah.
book.
That's actually
so,
cool.
Yeah, a lot of people have done stuff like that. I always find that pretty cool and creative.
Yeah.
So I guess if I had to pick, my favorite, it would be that. 'Cause it's my favorite band, and I'm not a comic book guy, as you guys know. So that being probably the only one that I own,
I appreciate that stuff.
I'd have to say that'd be it.
I appreciate that
It's
stuff.
really
I
kind of
can
cool though.
appreciate
Like,
it.
the art style in it's neat. I like it,
Yeah, it is really cool.
and it's just cool that the band members are the characters in this comic book.
Well, he is super into Marvel Comics.
He
so-
is.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
got
he's
a
into
ton-
Marvel and
He's got,
DC.
like,
Yeah.
He's got a whole sleeve of just.
Yeah, he has a whole Marvel
Yeah.
sleeve. It's on his leg, right?
Yeah, it's on his leg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen an interview with him, and he has I can't remember which issue of Iron Man it is that he has all mint condition, like multiple of it, and he's giving it to his kids when they grow up and can appreciate them and stuff. So it's kind of sick.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, I like John Cooper.
John Cooper is 10 out of 10 human being.
That's cool. That's cool.
All right.
So I did contribute to
Hey,
this
you go.
conversation.
Hey,
I-
congratulations.
I'm actually surprised that I had anything to contribute to this, but that is the one comic book series or the one comic book that I actually own, so I guess we'll throw that in.
Okay.
definitely-
New or old Age of Apocalypse, Checo?
Yeah, that's a big question.
You're not wrong. I love both of those. They're great.
I think some that stand out to me that I'm looking at my Marvel app here.
You have an
It-
app for your comics?
Yeah, you can download and buy comics. I haven't done it a ton, but
I had no idea.
Mhm.
I mean, it makes sense. I don't know why I'm surprised, honestly.
so the kind of one that
Big
sticks
brain.
out to me is just it's kind of one of the first comic
Gotcha.
book series I read. Was the
It's good stuff.
Infinity Gauntlet storyline. It's kind of like right when Infinity War came out. I was like, you know what?
You wanted to go and look at the
Yeah,
lore?
I wanted to read like what it was based on.
Checo likes that one too.
And so
Mhm.
It's good stuff.
Just seeing how crazy that compared to even like how crazy the movie got, it still got way crazier in the comics. Like,
Oh, it's way
nuts.
way different.
but so yeah, that's just one that's just iconic, and it's one of the first comic book runs I've read. Other than that, like just classic ones like Maximum Carnage is
Nice,
great.
dude.
I like Days of Future Past. I really actually like the newer Thor run. I haven't read it all, but what I have read of it and seen of it, it's
Mhm.
really cool. Like he becomes the Herald of Galactus and stuff. That's pretty neat. And then like Civil War and Secret Wars too. Secret Wars is pretty cool. I just read that.
Secret Wars is so convoluted. But yeah, it gets interesting. You talking about the old one or
Yeah,
the one
the
that came
original
out
one.
just a couple years
The
ago?
original one.
Yep, there's a
That
lot.
was good.
Obviously Spider-Man is my favorite stuff. So, Spider-Man's version of Civil War, that series is really cool. I love the Spider Island arc. That one's awesome. A little bit about it, I guess, is
He saw the comment.
everyone in New York gets spider powers.
Wait, everyone?
Yeah,
So it's just like
It's
pure
crazy.
chaos, huh?
yeah, it's crazy.
I love
But
chaos.
that one's actually really cool. Let's see, The Ends of Earth. I like that one a lot. That's pretty much Doc Ock is near the end of his life, and he like takes the world hostage, and like it's literally just Spider-Man versus him, pretty much.
I mean,
because
to be
everyone else
fair,
doesn't want to
he was at the end of
believe
his
it.
life in the movie.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, he died in the movie, so he was at the end of his life there.
Yeah, but that one's really cool. That leads up to one of my favorite ones. Actually, it's called Superior Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Really, really good. Doc Ock switches his mind into Peter's body, and Peter's mind into his failing, dying body, and Peter dies. So Doc Ock becomes Spider-Man. It's actually amazing.
Yeah.
It's a really good series.
It's crazy.
Surprisingly.
Amazing Spider-Man.
There you go.
No, you're
Actually
amazing.
superior. It's actually
Right.
superior.
Yeah.
You're
That one's really
superior.
cool.
You're
That was
amazing.
surprisingly really good.
Yeah, didn't they bring him back too as Superior Spider-Man at one point? I thought I
In
saw something.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, like he like just is
Yeah.
Superior Spider-Man. Like he just
That
took
version,
back-
it comes, which that's an interesting series too, with all the different Spider-Man from different alternate realities and universes and stuff. That's cool. Let's see. Outside of Spider-Man, which there's lots of Spider-Man, but the new Avengers series is my favorite comic series.
Now, how closely does that follow the movies?
It doesn't.
It doesn't at
No.
all. Okay.
That is the aftermath of Superhero Registration,
Yeah.
where the Avengers split. There's the new Avengers, which are those who are against the registration, and then there's the Mighty Avengers, which are pro. So the Mighty Avengers are trying to like capture all those heroes all the time too. But
Yeah.
that one's awesome. I love that series. Let's see. Dark Reign is really awesome. If you guys don't know about that one, Norman Osborn, President of the United States, makes his own Avengers out of like villains. So the Spider-Man is the second one, I guess, but is Venom over Matt Gargan, who is the original Scorpion, and it's just sick series, which ends up being where does it end? Siege. That's a good one too, where all of his new Avengers or whatever, the Dark Reign Avengers, go and try to lay siege to Asgard, which is really cool.
That's cool.
Which is floating over the U.S. and I think in Nebraska. I think.
Wait,
Which is
something
weird.
interesting actually happened
I
in
think that's
Nebraska?
what it is. I think it's Nebraska.
Oh,
I could be
man.
wrong, but
Well, there's nothing else in Nebraska to have happen.
That would be
so-
the first interesting thing to ever happen in the state of Nebraska, ever. I
hey,
mean, they got the zoo in Omaha, but other than that, what do they have?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You know, it'd have been cool though.
Even their
it'd be
corn's
kinda
inferior.
Funny if they were over like the Metrodome or the U.S. Bank
The
Stadium.
Metrodome.
no. But yeah, there's lots of
At the
good
time.
comic series,
Just think
man.
about that.
Fear Itself is a really good one.
Mhm.
The Vikings and they have Asgard above them. You know, that'd be kind of.
Oh, I was thinking like when the Metrodome roof collapsed, it was because they dropped something. That's why the roof caved in. Something fell
That's
from
not
Asgard
good.
above it.
Thor dropped Mjolnir.
But yeah,
Well, no, because then a bunch of snow came in, so like he dropped a
Oh.
snow cone or something, and it just fell out of the stadium. That's what they
Runaways
need.
was really good.
Runaways is good.
I liked Runaways a lot. Outside of Marvel, I guess, if we just go like Image Comics, one of my favorite series is called Lazarus.
Mm.
I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that one.
I've heard of it. I just haven't had a chance to read them yet.
It's really, really good. It's like post-apocalyptic kind of, and the world is sectioned off into like territories led by families who each have their own like super soldier that represents them called a Lazarus. And it's actually just really, really good. I won't say anything else.
Do they hang
but
out in trees?
They do not. They kill people and they kill each other and fight and stuff. It's pretty awesome.
What, Weston?
But yeah, love comics. Haven't read them in a while, so
I think.
lots of good stuff.
I guess on the DC side, like, I like Flashpoint because Flash is probably my favorite DC character.
Hmm.
What is it? The
Thomas
newest,
Wayne Batman's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool. The newest run's pretty cool. Well, first like the Godspeed stuff they did was really sweet. And then out of that, the whole bringing like the original Wally West back, that was really cool actually, because like it had to do with like a lot of the events from like the New 52 and stuff, and like how like the original like Ginger Wally West kind of got erased from the universe, and it's like them bringing him back. And then it's like him realizing like, well, I didn't basically exist anymore, and like figuring all that out was really cool. And then he ends up fighting Barry. So I like that storyline. That was pretty cool because you have like the Wally West of now it's like the one from like the CW and stuff. But yeah, so it's pretty cool.
So yeah, there are others that I love as well. I guess I can bring out as well. Like still over in DC, I love The Blackest Night.
That's a great series.
I love that one to death.
That was a great one.
I have to say that was one of the few that I just straight up bought straight out. And I was just like, I love this, and I want to read this again someday when I've had enough time to forget about it, which is going to be really hard because it was so well done in the first place. Let's see, there's another one that I had. Kind of like you were saying earlier, I love the Infinity Gauntlet, an Infinity Saga, I'll call it.
Infinity Saga, yeah.
Because there's a lot more to it than just the war.
There's Infinity Crisis, which is a series too, and
so
was it perfectly balanced?
That had nothing to do with it.
As all things should be.
No,
it
it's
had
not.
nothing to do with it.
Thanos actually didn't have morals in the comics. He literally just
killed them just to like woo death.
So
that's it.
Lady Death.
This is actually kind of a funny thing. So in the comics, Thanos hates humanity so much. There's a comic run where
I can relate.
There's this baby. So this kid is born,
Old
and
Man Logan's really
Thanos
good job.
literally there's this whole comic run of this Thanos just abusing this like kid on his birthday every year. So from birth.
Wait, hold on. So he
he'll
singles out this one kid and just abuses him on his birthday?
So this kid was born. Thanos went and like picked this kid. He's like, oh, every year on your birthday, I'm gonna come and traumatize you in some way. So like each year on his birthday, Thanos shows up and does something to his life to mess him up.
That is the worst birthday clown ever.
It's like super messed up. But there's like a whole run about it, and I found out about it like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, this
that sounds incredible.
Actually hilarious, but yeah, that's just how much Thanos hates humanity. He just doesn't like, and so in the movies, it's like, oh, it's this morality thing. Like he's trying to save people. It's just his own twisted way. But no, the comics.
But in the comics, he's like, nah.
He hates people. He hates life.
He does that all. He kills everyone as a gift to Lady Death, who's he's in love with, who's the embodiment of death in the MCU.
Okay.
And she hates him. She flips out because he kills all the people. But she's in love with Deadpool.
Yeah, which.
And so he hates Deadpool more than like anyone. And that's why Deadpool is all so messed up under his mask, is because he curses him to decay, but to never die. So he's immortal, but he's all nasty underneath. He can't heal like that. It's weird.
That's really interesting. I had no idea.
An interesting concept.
I legit
just love how
had no
she
clue.
loves Deadpool.
But no, they really over-moralized Thanos in the movies.
See, I thought he was well done in the movies.
He was.
No,
he
he
was
was
very
well
good.
done.
Very good
So
villain.
They did their own version of him.
Yeah,
They take
thought
their
he was
liberties.
Really well done.
They have to change it to make it their own thing, instead of just doing the exact same thing. But
yeah, so here's. I'll have to show it to you afterwards, but this is just one of the panels from that comic, and he in this, he burns down his grad school on his birthday, kills everybody in it, and it's just him going, "Well, happy birthday." And it's him going through life every year.
I mean, at least he said happy birthday. He was polite in that regard.
it's kind of hilarious.
He could have
It is kind of hilarious.
He could have just did it and then left without saying anything. He at least wished him a happy birthday.
Oh.
See, he had morals. He had a good side to him.
How terrible would that life be if you just know
blow out your
every year,
candles.
You just know every year
Now
your
your
birthday,
school burned
Thanos is gonna come and ruin it.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like it'd be like just a hilarious movie series or TV show series. Like every episode
Disney
is
Plus,
a new birthday.
That'd be a cool Disney Plus series. Or if they did it like in this kind of vein of like what Thor was doing during Civil War, where it's just like him living in that guy's apartment, because that was really funny.
See, I'm sitting here thinking now about how they can make that show where every single episode is a new year for this kid's birthday.
Or even just every half episode. Because it might take a long time.
Well, I mean, if you did like 2 seasons at,
You would have to
25
switch
apiece or
actors
something,
quite a
like-
bit, though.
You would, yeah.
throughout his life,
You would, but I mean, they can also do like the aging and the de-aging CGI stuff like they
It
did.
would be
with
an
different
interesting
people.
concept.
It'd be funny to watch, and it wouldn't even have to be live action. It could be an animated deal too. That way they wouldn't have to
That would
worry
be
about
easier.
switching it.
That would be much simpler.
It could be an There you go, Disney.
There you go.
I just got you $1 billion idea right there.
Not about billion, but
Okay, that's a
I think
$1 billion.
it'd do
That's a
good.
great
We
idea.
could do-
Let's be real. That's $1 billion idea.
I don't know if that's $1 billion.
I wouldn't call it
idea.
billion, but
I would. That's perfect.
Yeah, but this is you we're talking about here. So.
I would watch
You
that
don't-
so fast. If I just knew that Thanos was going to show up and screw up this kid's birthday every episode, like that'd be so funny. And just like in the most random, twisted ways imaginable.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for it.
Hmm.
All for it.
But no. And I did see, I think it was John mentioned Old Man
Old
Logan.
Man Logan's cool.
Yeah,
Love
that's
that
like
one.
It's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
You just
steering
like it
to
because
other
his name's
things.
Logan.
I mean, yeah.
House of M is really good.
He's a great character. Just 'cause
House
of
of M is awesome with Scarlet Witch and that
Yeah.
whole thing that happens. Age of Apocalypse is really good. I like that. There's a lot of X. There's so much X-Men,
Yeah.
and a lot of them are good, and there's some terrible ones too. But
What is the new one? Any
the
good?
the new stuff going out,
Yeah. The, like,
I hear
House of X,
lots
Power
of good
10.
stuff about it. There's so many. There's
We
X
need
of Swords. There's House of X. There's is it Hellfire Gala or something?
I
Was
just-
a new one.
I've seen I don't know. I've seen mixed stuff on it, but my biggest pet peeve with it is the naming convention they did with the like first two like because they did like the two like
Killing Joke's
storylines going on
interesting.
at the same
Yeah.
time. Is how they started this run,
Mhm.
and it was House of X and then Power of 10, but they'd used X as both, but it was supposed to be like so it was like the Power of and it was X, and it was House of X.
Roman numeral. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're just confusing people. If you want it to be called 10, then you should have put 10. 'cause
Okay,
now
I
people
mean,
say X.
to be fair though, there's a lot of people that do not know Roman numerals at all, and so they're just not even gonna think of it. So that is their
No,
fault. Like,
no, Jordan, that's mostly you.
I actually know them up until 10. After that, I'm done.
Well, that's all you need to
That's,
know.
that's all you would need to know.
Like
But-
when they do the Super Bowl, it's like Super Bowl like VIII or like I don't.
No, it's actually pretty easy.
You just
to
keep
learn.
adding after.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah,
just-
but I don't know like
The only
you know
thing-
what the
it just kind of
like
slips me up
50 and
sometimes. I
100
kind of
and
get like
all that.
so like 4 and 6. I'll kind of flip around sometimes in my head, but then I like think about it. Oh,
Just
yeah.
remember with 4, the I
Yeah.
comes before
Yep.
the
Yep,
V.
exactly.
Yeah, see, that's why I say like up till 10, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then it's after.
Yeah.
And then it gets X, and then it continues to add the same things that were before
Yeah.
it, and just add
But no.
forth, you
Yep.
know.
What I'm really getting from all this, Dan, we need to take a trip to a comic shop.
We
Yeah.
do. I want
Let's
to
go to Mayhem.
I'm saying we should do this.
I really would like to because I only have a handful of physical comics, and I really would like to get
Well,
more.
I tell you what, whenever we go up to Minneapolis to head to Micro Center, guarantee you there's a comic shop somewhere in the cities. I'm
or
sure.
we could go to Mayhem, which we already know.
That's in Ames, right?
It's an Ames.
Yeah. It's a name.
That one looks cool. I went
one's
to
really
visit his
nice.
friend
I
down there
love that
once,
place.
and I
Thought it was
we
a
never
good
stopped
idea.
in there, but it looked really cool.
You got to find one.
If you find a good one that's really close, we could look into it. But
I'm still really bummed about the
On
one
the
in
way up there.
Chicago
Go
that
for it.
we went and they were closed
They were
at like
closed.
4:00 in the afternoon
Yeah, it
on
was-
like a weekday. I was like, what the heck, man?
yeah,
Al-
the
alternate reality.
Yeah,
I like that store.
they were like,
they're good, but they close so
yeah, they were
early.
closed at like
Who
3
closes
or
at
4
4?
on a weekday.
Why?
Like,
Was that's before COVID?
that no, yeah, that was
This
when
was just
we went on the
before.
Chicago
Alright.
trip, like
Gotcha.
2019. Yeah, 2019.
Mhm.
Interesting.
So we were disappointed by that.
Yeah,
But maybe in the future they'll improve.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
we
mean-
should take a trip down there.
I love having physical comics. They're great.
There's just something about having it in your hand and the smell of new comic book.
Yeah,
I have
It's
all
like a
of Superior
drug.
Spider-Man first editions in comics, and they're going for so much money now.
that's awesome.
There you go. You can sell those and buy new
I'm gonna
comics
keep
with
them.
them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep them. They'll just keep going up.
That's how I feel about the Pokemon cards on the shelf.
That's how I
Just gonna
feel
keep
about
going
everything
up.
I collect. Oh, that's how I justify buying more of everything. Oh, it's just gonna be worth a lot of money one day. Then I'm never gonna sell it.
Right?
See, that's how I feel about most of these. Like I have these booster boxes and ETBs and
Oh no, my
like all this different stuff. I'm
my
sitting here
booster
thinking.
boxes are totally getting sold.
I'm sitting here thinking like.
I'll
Am-
wait. It's gonna be like 15 years, but they'll get sold. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe in 20 years I'll sell the Evolving Skies one. I mean, I got like 3 more of those unopened in the closet, so maybe eventually
Yeah.
we could.
I'll sell my Evolving Skies.
We can
It's
figure
done
that
too
out.
much harm to me. So
Has it really?
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing.